Hi guys. Thanks for being here. I want to start out by highlighting again London's Notebook. The book came out early in a few places and she got it early and was previewing it. Be sure and check her out, and I'll put her link again in the video description. The book will be out in just a couple days. As well as an awesome channel called Fear Nothing Question Everything. Go watch her channel. I'll put her link in the video description as well.
But it actually turns out that it was Jack that called Kaylee. This is a preview of this new book that shows some of the call logs. Jack called Kaylee and they were on the phone for 17 minutes. Now, when the police found this out, they didn't say to him... Now, in this, Jack says that he must have silenced the call because he thought it was an alarm or something like that, or answered the call thinking it was turning his alarm off in his sleep. Now, at that point, why did the ISP investigator not say, no, you called Kaylee? You didn't silence a call because there was no incoming call.
There is 21 pages of what appears to look like an Excel type of chart of data. I don't know if it's accurate or not.
In a previous video, I touched on this text about cheating. It's interesting, it just says work product rather than Ethan phone log. Of course, friends said he was not a jealous kind of person at all, and they weren't aware of E and X being interested in anyone else since they were so interested in each other. Someone sent this for some reason. We don't know what it was about. It could be about anything. It could have been a completely harmless joke. For example, if X was loving on someone's dog or cat, in the party, in one of the apartments, a friend might say, hey Ethan, you're getting cheated on. Without knowing the sender and context, we don't know yet if this was a serious message at all or not, or what it was referring to. Was it about a game? What was it about? But it's interesting. The book cites the various victims' phone logs, and other sources of data that haven't been publicly released so far, like the Ford Explorer logs mentioned here. These should all have been released publicly by now, but they haven't been. There are the events going on with the various parties and communications back and forth. There's DM with Gideon. We always wondered if that was Gideon written on her arm. And meanwhile, there's Koberger in Pullman getting groceries and going to Walmart, etc. Here we see DM allegedly going to bed. Don't know if this was corroborated with activity sensor data from her phone. There's the alleged DoorDash order. We had heard it was on E's DoorDash, but it says XSL. Maybe it was on her phone but his DoorDash account. Not sure. At 2:16 a.m. someone is heard calling and whistling for Murphy, and then barking is heard at 2:17. We listened to these a long time ago on the Linda Lane camera footage, but this is from the 1112 King Road footage. Various light-colored sedans are driving around in the area as we know. And there we see the 17-minute call. At 4 o'clock we see Dylan hearing what she thought was Kaylee singing and playing music, and then shouting that someone is there. It says 4 o'clock, but remember that Dylan was being interviewed in Boise, so her phone times were an hour off. We have to consider that and compare it to other things in context to make sure if this is Boise time or Moscow time. Not absolutely sure. If it is Moscow time, then this is happening immediately after the alleged DoorDash delivery. These are only DM's recollections regarding the time she heard this. One of the interesting items here is that it says the masked person with the vacuum that DM saw was at least 3 inches taller than she is. This is new to us, because originally she said she is 5'10", and that the person she saw was about her height or an inch shorter or taller. In the documents it was stated as about 6 feet tall. They never appeared aware that she originally said shorter or taller. I've never heard mention of the person being at least 3 inches taller than DM before. So I'm not sure what this comes from. I will look at her interviews again and tell me your thoughts on that. It also says he looked at her before walking out. The slider is not visible from her bedroom door. This is referring to as the person allegedly passed her bedroom door before going through the kitchen and turning left to go to the sliding glass door. This was only based on her eyewitness statement. We haven't seen any evidence of someone exiting that direction. But someone could have. In contrast, there was a lot of evidence in the stairwell leading to the front door. Whether that was transferred there as a perpetrator exited, or in some other way during the attacks. Attackers could have exited through both doors. We don't know. We also don't know if the person DM allegedly saw was part of the attack or not. She didn't see any weapons, only a vacuum, and she originally thought he was a fireman. In this entry, she describes seeing a dark-colored truck going by through BF's window. And further down the page here, The neighbor hears the dog stop barking at 4:45 as if it was let inside. But we appeared to see Murphy running around over on King Road by the dumpster in the 6 o'clock hour. So maybe he was let in by someone somewhere, and then let back out. Or did he just go inside and hide for a while? Or did perps put him in a car for a while? We don't know. This was interesting. There's activity sensor data from DM's phone cited in some places. We've been waiting for the phone activity sensor data from the various phones, as well as Kaylee's smartwatch data, and the Alexa data from any devices in the house, throughout this case. Shout out again to London's Notebook for the preview, and also be sure and check out Fear Nothing Question Everything. Let me know what you think about the upcoming book that's coming out April 28th. Broken Plea by Christopher Whitcomb. Thanks for watching.